Looks pretty sick, right? Right? Believe it or not, everything you just saw, smooth camera paths, dynamic mob movement, and dramatic pitfall, was done entirely in Minecraft Vanilla. No mods, no plugins, just clever use of commands. So, let's get started. First, I need to give myself a command block. Just like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to need is a block of your choice, a comparator, a repeater, some redstone dust, a torch, and a button. First, I need to place down the command block. Make sure the arrow is pointing somewhere where there's a lot of space in front of it. Then place a comparator here, block there, then a repeater here, and some redstone dust over there. This is going to be our main clock of the cutscene. Then, I'm going to place down a repeater over here, and some redstone some torch over here, a block here, and a command block over here, a button on this one, and then 3 command blocks over here. So now, we've done everything. Coming on to the next step. In here, what I'm going to do here is scoreboard. I'm going to type in scoreboard and press done. Here, I'm going to press impulse chain repeat and press done. Then here, I'm going to press chain and always active. Right, then I do /scoreboard, objectives, add. Now you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to call this camera data. And a dummy. This means that we can add data which will update, just like that. Then you have say scoreboard, players, add. Now you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to call this cam_1. Camera data 1. Perfect. Then this command block I'm going to say kill at e tag equals cam_1. Just like that. And then finally here, I'm going to add kill at e tag equals cam_1. Perfect. And then this one is say tag, add, tag at p, so the nearest player, add, and whatever tag you like, I say cam_1_viewer. Just like that. And finally in the purple command block, we're going to say execute if the score, hashtag cam_1, remember that name, camera data, matches 1 or more to run scoreboard, players, add, hashtag cam_1, camera data 1. So now when we press this button, what will happen? What's happening here is that we'll continuously add 1 to our frame counter or our camera data. Now if we want to stop this, now this is important for later. We have to write scoreboard, players, set, hashtag cam_1, camera data to 0, and it will instantly stop. So now, I'm going to choose a target. So I'm going to choose this tree. So I'm going to choose a block over here. I'm going to say, /set block, enter. So I'm going to keep that command. Then in the center second command block over here, paste in the command that's said in the description. Now, remember the command we just typed? To copy this information and place it at the very beginning over here. Now, the next thing to do is find the orientation. So press F3 and you see next to the facing, you see a 90 and a -2. So I'm going to do here, to be facing towards 90 and 0. Somewhere like that. So back into the second command block we just had, the back here, that's the pitch, and the 0 is the yaw. Then, when we press the start button, nothing happened. If we go into spectator, you see here, a small armor stand has been spawned. Now this armor stand, we can manipulate using the commands, which we're going to do next. But first, this is where it's very important to pay attention. Make sure this command works, otherwise you're trapped into your world. So, I'm going to take out a chain command block, and then just say execute as at a, that have a tag of equals cam_1_viewer. Now, pay attention, this is the same tag than here. Make sure your spelling is right. Then add a comma and say game mode does not equal spectator. Since we don't want to set everyone that's in spectator back to spectator. So at s, run game mode, spectator at s. Then I'm going to add another command block. Yes, I'm going to say in here, I'm going to say execute as at a tag equals cam_1_viewer, comma game mode equals spectator, at their position, run spectate tag equals cam_1, comma limit equals 1. Because remember, we can only spectate one singular thing at a time. We can't spectate all the entities in the world. Now, this is important. Right. Make sure this works, because the moment you press this button, you're stuck. Make sure this command works. If it doesn't, you're stuck. This is very important. Now, the final command to do here is say execute if the score of #cam_1 camera data matches. Now when you set a range, so I'm going to say 10 seconds divided by 20 is 1 second, so 20 ticks is 1 second, so 200 ticks, and say run scoreboard players set #cam_1 camera data to 0. So now, if I were to press the button, you'll see we get teleported into the thing, and whatever I can do, I can go into creative. I can't move my mouse. I'm stuck. But after a certain amount of time, I get released, you can see, and the thing automatically stops. So now this is our base engine. Now I'm to mark this with whatever block. This is going to be our animation. So let's say I would like to go closer to the tree, then to the side, then up, right? So let's program that. So I'm going to write this command in, which we can copy on later to save time. So execute as at e tag equals cam_1 at s run teleport -0.1. But here's something important which I forgot to mention. We have to add an if at the begin. So if score #cam_1 camera data matches, and then we can say whatever range. So 1 to 50 frames. So make sure 2 dots, 50 range. So now when I press this button, all of a sudden I just move forward very slowly. And then after a certain amount of time, you see, we get jolted back out and we can go back to our beginning. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this command by pressing Ctrl and middle mouse button. Then I'm going to place the command in here, change this to 51 and 100, and then I'm not going to teleport myself to the forward, I'm going to teleport myself to the Z direction. Say 0.1. Remember, the smaller the number, the better. Do the same thing again, but this time 0.2, and from frame 101 to 150. Since remember, I want to go forward, then to the side, then up. So now if I were to press this button, you see I'm getting slowly pushed forward, then to the side, and then up. Perfect. Then a few frames later, I can go. Now we can do way more. For example, we can summon a particle at the top of the tree at a certain frame. So what I'm going to do here is slash particle, right, so what I'm going to do here is copy the same command, and instead of setting a range, just say at frame 150, I'm going to remove the run, right? And then I'm going to copy the particle command just like that and paste it in. What we also can do, right? We can do the same thing, but instead we can say here at frame 151, we can change this to summon. Let's say what we call a boat, acacia boat, at those coordinates. Right. So now when I press the start button, you can see very smoothly we see explosion and acacia chest boat appeared, and shortly after we end.